versus Kentucky's own Kim Davis.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. I think that you are sleeping on Kim Davis. I think you're sleeping hard on Kim Davis. That is a woman who, I mean, she's not going to be the buffoon of the century, but that is a streaking shooting star buffoonery across the political landscape that she put together here this year. What she did, the way she decided, you know what? Forget the Constitution. Forget the courts. Forget that I've been ordered by the courts several times. I just don't feel like doing my job. That's a level of buffoonery that is just hard to match. And then, you know, she just got that certain je ne sais quoi buffoonery that you look at her and you see, my God, what a buffoon. I think you're sleeping on Kim Davis.
But then again, on the other side of the coin, the Black Lives Matter movement is a fundamental change of buffoonery, not only in that portion of politics, but for the entire liberal democratic machine. They have candidates bowing down to them, Matt.
Yeah,
bowing down to their buffoonery in the name of soliciting votes.
I would say that's not buffoonery. I would say that's political power. You get people to do what you tell them to do. You got power. You're not a buffoon. Just the fact that
I'm going with the chat room on this, pal. I'm going
foolish.
to talk over you, and I don't care. The Black Lives Matter movement is the new generation of the Reverend Al. That's fact right there. I like that.
I think we're going to have to. You and I got to disagree. You know, the buffoon of the year thing is not about. You know, it's not about what happens, you know, over time. It's not what happened in the past. It's why the Reverend Al is not involved this year, because he may be the buffoon of the century, but he didn't have a good year. So what happened in 2015? In 2015, Kim Davis was a superstar.
All right, let's get to the other matchup now. The final matchup, making it whole, in the Newsmaker buffoon bracket, Rachel Dolezal, I can't even say her name without laughing, versus Planned Parenthood. Another battle of the Titans in the Newsmaker bracket. The strongest bracket in Buffoon of the Year.
You know, I think in this one, I have a clear favorite. It's Rachel Dolezal. I mean, that there's almost no words. You know, she's like a Michael Jackson video come to life and trying to do political protests. You know, the chutzpah of being a white woman who sued a black college for discriminating against her for being white, then going off and telling everyone in the NAACP that she's black and becoming president of the local chapter, that is pro-level buffoonery right there. That is just the most buffoonish things ever. And the best part was, even after the pictures came out that showed just how white she was, even after her family came out and said, oh, yeah, she's a honky. Even after all that came out, she still wouldn't admit it.
Oh, yeah, she's a honky.
Obvious. A blinding and stubborn refusal to accept reality is the hallmark of your epic level buffoons, and she is demonstrating that in spades.
But on the other side, and I'm going to play devil's advocate with you because there's nothing you said I disagree with. On the other side, you have another shocking and astonishing lack of self-recognition with Planned Parenthood. The Center for Medical Progress videos, okay. The lack of self-awareness when talking in quiet quarters, okay. But have you seen their Twitter lately? There are some shocking and amazing things that show a glaring lack of self-awareness coming from Planned Parenthood. The biggest buffoons, in my opinion, I'm going to let you say something in a second. The biggest buffoons, in my opinion, are the buffoons that don't know that they are buffoons. Planned Parenthood doesn't know how buffoonish they are.
I agree with you. I agree with you that a buffoon who lacks the awareness and know how buffoonish they are is just such a great and wonderful gift to humanity, because the comedy that flows from them is just endless. But in this case, I think you're going to have to disagree in that the level of self-awareness, the lack of self-awareness coming from Ms. Dolezal is ethically higher than what's coming off of Planned Parenthood. So on this one, I think Dolezal is just such a stronger candidate.
And the bracket is complete. But wait, there's more. We also have, I mentioned it earlier, there's going to be an honorarium. A moment that will last a lifetime for one buffoon that was not mentioned. We are christening the first ever Reverend Al Sharpton Memorial Lifetime Achievement Award for buffoonery. And there are 3 nominees. All of them probably at the end of their career, a time to recognize and respect a lifetime track record of buffoonery. Your 3 choices are Joe Biden, John Boehner, and Eric Holder. Everybody's computer just exploded. Did you hear that? Everyone's computer exploded with the level of buffoonery.
All I heard were squeals of joy from the people who realize that they get to work and decide and vote on these 3 epic buffoons one last time.
It's the final go-around for one of them. I mean, listen, John Boehner is exiting the stage. Eric Holder's exiting the stage. Joe Biden ended his political career by saying he wasn't going to run for president. This is it. This is, I mean, does everybody remember one shining moment from the telecasts of college basketball? It's time for their one shining moment.
I agree. I think we're seeing in the chat room a strong spirited argument that there, a lot of people saying, "Oh, no question. Oh, no question." There's a question, people. There's
a strong question out there.
There's a strong question out there. Because you have different styles of buffoonery here. You have Joe Biden's, who knows what crazy thing he's going to say next style of buffoonery versus John Boehner's, holy crap, what else is he going to pull politically style of buffoonery, and Eric Holder's, how much more contempt for the Constitution can I have style of buffoonery. It's really just, it's unfair to have to give it to one, but, these are the decisions you have to make.
Absolutely. He's Matt Fairley, ladies and gentlemen. He's the 2015 Reverend Al Sharpton Fellow from the Behind Enemy Lines Institute for the Examination of Buffoonology and Existential Research. Matt, your work will not go unnoticed in the ranks of the science of buffoonology. We all thank you for your dedication, for your efforts, for your serious lack of time management for spending so much time on this. Thank you, sir, for all you do.
It helps not to have kids. Thank you. It's been
all right,
my
Matt.
pleasure. Thank you for having me on, buddy.
Oh, it's been my pleasure, sir. And we'll definitely have you on when we finally decide who America has for Buffoon of the Year. Time for a quick break, folks. When we come back, we're going to talk to Dan Gaynor from Media Research Center. We're going behind some enemy headlines with Media Research Center and Newsbusters. Gene Baradelli, Behind Enemy Lines, will be back right after this brief word.
I'm Vito.
And I'm Vito, and we're from WNJC's The Vito and Vito Show.
Every Friday at 1 p.m., you can hear Vito and Vito bring you the perspectives of 2 college-age millennial conservatives who are committed to defending the principles of free markets, liberty, freedom, and individualism from Brooklyn, New York.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Vito and Vito Show, and check out our blog posts and articles at vitoandvito.com.
Vito and Vito Show every Friday, 1 p.m. on WNJC 1360 AM, Philadelphia's Renaissance Station. In Brooklyn,
it's nothing but the truth.
There's a movement in healthcare today. It's a movement of people that's ready to stand up and take charge of their healthcare. It's people like you and me who are tired of paying too much for healthcare and getting too little. People who are standing up for their values and letting their conscience make decisions based on timeless principles. It's a movement that's sweeping the nation, and you need to be a part of it. Liberty HealthShare is leading the movement of people who are looking for an alternative to traditional health insurance. Liberty HealthShare is a healthcare sharing organization of people who are sharing the cost of healthcare in an easy and efficient way. Choose your own doctor, your own hospital, and live out your values in healthcare. Join the movement. Together, we're changing healthcare for good. go to www.joinlhs.com or call 800-722-8041.
Who might you save?
Your mother, your father, your husband, uncle, aunt, son.
Learn FAST, F-A-S-T, the sudden signs of a stroke, and you could save.
Your friend, teacher, boss.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. F-A-S-T. That's F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in the recovery of
your neighbor, the waiter, grandmother, grandfather.
So learn FAST, the sudden signs of a stroke, then pass it on, because you never know who might save you.
Your wife, your colleague.
Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Behind Enemy Lines. Back on the air. Gene Baradelli back behind enemy lines, and we unveil right now our brand new segment here, Behind Enemy Headlines. And we do it thanks to our new relationship with Newsbusters and our good friend Dan Gaynor. Dan, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing great. If media bias is job security, then I've got a job until about 35:15. So I'm set, man. I could be immortal and have this job.
May we all live to see that day. All right, so listen, what do you got for me this week? The two stories, obviously, that are dominating the news cycle, such as it is, are, of course, the Planned Parenthood shooting in Colorado and that dreaded climate change hysteria that the media just seems to fall in love with. So let's start with Planned Parenthood. Let's talk about the coverage in Colorado and how basically the left lost their head.
Well, even before the shooting, we saw, the left has basically lined up in lockstep for Planned Parenthood to the point where Scandal, the ultimate lefty TV show right now, put out by Shonda Rhimes and, got Kerry Washington, and they're both big Obama people, both big liberals, hold events for the left and such. They had an episode wherein the lead character, Kerry Washington's character, who's pregnant by the president, even though they had an affair, she has an abortion. And while she's having an abortion, you hear this rant by her father ranting, about how family isn't good for you, family holds you back. And then, of course, all to these strains of Silent Night. That's how the left feels about abortion. Abortion is a sacrament. Abortion is a religious thing to them. Killing babies is okay. So when the shooting happened, naturally, they've got to blame everybody on the right. Oh, my God. Anybody who's ever said anything talking about killing babies, they're probably freaking out right now that I'm saying this. Talking about killing babies, oh, you're evil. Your language is bad. Chuck Todd talked about the hateful rhetoric coming from the right on Sunday. He used the term hateful rhetoric 3 different times. He did rhetoric once. That's the topic of all the news outlets. Suddenly conservatives are making this happen. Yet amazingly, we're all to blame for one whack job shooter, but when you've got a global operation run by radical Islam, whether it's Al Qaeda or ISIS or anything like that, with people around America, around Europe, around the Middle East, all over the world taking action, suddenly the group actions don't apply. When 2 people tried to kill free speech speakers in Texas, in support of ISIS, tried to kill Pamela Geller and other people attending a free speech event, what did the media do? They blamed her. They blamed Pamela Geller. They pushed her on this, but, aren't you causing this? No. I'm sorry. No, you're not. This is not. We're still a free country. We even allow people to buy Mein Kampf. We allow Nazis to march in Skokie. People get free speech, but The left doesn't believe in free speech anymore. They're going on college campuses to take it away. They're operating the media. They want anybody who disagrees with them silenced and defunded. It's a two-pronged attack, and so the Planned Parenthood opportunity means that you can go to any lefty website right now and find, some sort of screed talking about how Planned Parenthood